That's
thing. But to make it easier for myself and viewers watching, if feminism is not taken from a Christian point of view, people get carried away. Or if it's not taken from a religious point of view, people get lost.
What's the difference?
Okay, the difference is this. People actually misinterpret what the word mentions about feminism. They think that the word of God, that's Bible, actually demeans the woman's role, or, you know, the empowerment, the woman's, you know, the bringing the woman out into the limelight. They feel like the biblical perspective actually demeans the woman generally. But a feminist, from a normal perspective, or from the natural thinking perspective, has to do with the woman trying to find a voice, identify herself, and claim who she thinks she ought to.
Does it mean competition?
Well, they claim to be equal with the men.
Because it could also mean, somebody said that it could also mean that looking for just playing your role in the society, equal opportunity. But some people drive it to a point of actually competing with the man in the house. But
and that is where I say it goes beyond boundaries.
So there's conflict.
That is where it leads to conflict. But a woman that I believe that is in tune with, you know, her maker, and actually sought, you know, the voice of the maker, will always be led the right way. You will know that you ought to submit, even when you make that mistake. Because sometimes women do this, they are being carried away. Say, for instance, you're married to a woman who is doing better. She has a good job. She's making more money. She's providing for the home. At some point in time, it begins to get to her head. She doesn't even know when she loses it.
So you rub it on the face of the man.
And begin to get proud. Sometimes she might not even know that she's doing that.
You see, there's something important that you mentioned. Basically, in my view, a woman is a gatekeeper in the family, okay? And then somebody said that if a man is the head of the house, woman is the neck. So she has a way of directing the man.
To the left hand, to the
now,
right.
And I also speak this as a Christian, you being a Christian, within Christianity now, you find out a lot of people are giving more to, they just want to listen to a prophecy and all that, and nobody's going back to the word of God to actually, so prophecy. But you discover that more often than not, women are actually, I don't want to use the word victims, but women are actually more susceptible to being swayed by this prophecy, whether it is right or wrong. Absolutely. And they have a way eventually dragging the men into these things, and then they can get caught. And is this still a repetition of a role that was played in the Garden of Eden?
Oh, absolutely.
Where Eve herself,
absolutely,
was able to. So how do you think a woman, how can a woman, her role being the gatekeeper and being the moral fiber, the keeper of the home, how can a woman, what would you say to a woman to be able to fend off being easily swayed and carried away by subtle prophecies that may not even have any consistency with the word of God and with the family projections?
Well, a woman that doesn't have a true relationship with God will actually get swayed away, as you have mentioned, with all of this deceptive prophecies and all of that. And as you mentioned earlier, everything still is the Bible is a repetition of what is happening today. I mean, let's look at the story of Adam and Eve, if you want us to go to that. You know, Eve was deceived and given the apple, and she took to Adam. And it's still the very same thing. And as you mentioned, the woman is the gatekeeper. My mother-in-law often used to give this adage that a woman is a center table. And whoever passes the lounge or the sitting room, for some reason, we hit the center table. You know, if we've got this table here at the center, anyone that passes was for some either slide or touch or, you know, and the table can't complain. The table can't actually, you know, complain. So that is the role the woman plays in the home. So
the woman should just stay quiet?
No, I don't mean she should stay quiet. What it means is that whatever happens in the home, you are responsible. You are the one, you know, for seeing everything, and you bear the consequences. If whatever happens to your husband, whatever happens to your children, you are responsible for it. You are the gatekeeper, you are the keeper of the home, you are the Proverb 31 has said it all.
The virtuous woman.
The virtuous woman.
So you
if you
pray
read
for
the
them.
whole Proverbs 31, 10 to listen, she's diligent, she's full of wisdom, she's prudent, She's not an idle person.
She's an investor.
She's an investor. And not putting any woman under the pressure to have all of this, because we are still a
No, but
working.
that is recognized at the city gates because of the woman.
But the woman, you know, some women put themselves under pressure to yeah, and we are not super women.
No, of course.
You know, in any area you feel you are not doing well, you still pray to God to give you the grace to meet up. So going back to that role of a woman, you know, being manipulated, God did not make a mistake by making women to have, you know, this weaker, being the weaker vessel or having these emotions. You know, there's a reason he gave us that, in the sense that we're able to connect to him easily. If we look at all the women in the Bible and the roles they play, Mary Magdalene to Deborah was able to prophesy because she was always sensitive. People that prophesy a lot are very sensitive to the spirit. Softly, she was able to win the